Stereos come, those enemies. And then he's like, you real? How's it going? I'm totally welcome. Okay, restart.
That's awesome. No, dude, we're just gonna go with this. Alright. Hello and everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Lionheart Games Podcast. Tonight, or today, I guess it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. We have two special guests with us. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it is,
gosh.
Josh. We have Josh and Nolan.
No, it's so late.
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Lost every single match I played today.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I am very tired. I'm going to be very tired tomorrow, but I'm doing good.
Same here. I'm also going to be very tired tomorrow. Why are you so tired right now, Josh?
Oh, because I've been doing pre-releases for the new set, Kaladesh. Having a lot of fun with that and not getting very much sleep.
Now, talk to us a little bit about the Kaladesh pre-release so far. How many tournaments you played? What kind of decks you tried?
So I've been in 2 pre-releases so far. The midnight pre-release Friday night, and then I did a 5 o'clock today. My first deck was a Esper artifact kind of control deck. A lot of like life drain effects, that sort of thing. Looking to drag the game out as long as I can, get just good value out of stuff. Didn't go so great. It was a lot of fun though, so
Yeah.
I had a good time with it, even though my record wasn't that great. And then today I went with a red, green, black kind of aggro style. I went 4-0. So that one went a lot better. And I had some good matches. And went good.
Good.
Didn't pull anything crazy, no inventions, but had a good time with it.
It's true. Not many people pulled inventions this weekend so far, from as far as I am aware of. Maybe 4 or 5 were pulled out of like over 800 packs, give or take. So,
Yeah.
It's a very low number.
Mm-hmm.
Lower than I expected.
Yeah.
How are your thoughts on the limited format at the moment? Do you feel the format is a little slow as far as pre-release sealed, or do you feel like the format is aggressive and fast?
I feel like you can be whatever you want to, because there's a lot of really good aggressive cards in the format, especially in the uncommons slot. So in a draft, I feel like you could do a really good aggro, more so than in sealed, because you'll have access to all the uncommons that everyone else might not be taking because they might not be drafting that type of a deck.
Yeah.
But there's also really a lot of good, there's a lot of removal that has good effects to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's the 3 mana, deal 3 damage, gain 3 life. There's the 5 mana, destroy a creature, gain life for every artifact you control.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, slower removal that pays off for being slower.
Absolutely.
So, depending on what you're wanting to build, I think you can really go with either strategy, and it'll work well for you as long as you're able to, build a good deck and pull cards that work well together based off of what everyone else is drafting. So,
and I do agree. So far, I played against a variety of decks, and surprisingly enough, none of the decks I played against are remotely similar to each other. They all have their unique flavor, their own twist, and I think this set is just a blast to play. The feel is different, the mechanics unique, and being able to crewing a lot of vehicles, maybe crewing to victory, so to speak. So it's been nice. It's been nice. Now, I want to get a different perspective from Nolan here. Nolan, so far, have seen the set, am I correct?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it, not all of it.
Have you mostly taken a look at the rare and like the mythic portion of it, or is just like certain colors that interest you?
For the most part, I was just watching as people put out videos of what just came out, and they put up a video explaining like what they did and what they thought about it. But
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah, this was on from the Mana Source. But eventually I sort of just stopped watching some of them.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point I stopped, but yeah.
Right. Well, you're actually planning on playing one of the tournaments tomorrow, right?
I might be. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see how it lines up.
Theoretically speaking, all right. Now, without knowing what each color has to fully offer in the set, and assuming you're going to want the pre-release releases tomorrow, what would be a color combination you want to play? What is Nolan's definition C of approval on Volume Town? What is something that really intrigue you in terms of colors in Magic the Gathering?
Typically, from what I've done, very small amounts and limited. If you can get enough good stuff in a single color, it's usually best for you because then you don't have to worry about mana fixing and all that. It's just all in the one color. But that usually doesn't happen. But it sort of depends on what you get for your rares. Like if you get the green Gear Hulk, which is a super value card.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
If you can just get one of them, it's like, what is it 8 stats?
4 or 5, yeah.
And trample. And kind of ridiculous.
Put the counters on the flyers. You can play like white-green tokens, green-blue evasion creature, green-red aggressive energy. There are a lot of things you can do with that.
And because it's like you split it up between 2 different creatures, you can't just...
Can't you do it? I thought it was
you can. So multiple.
You could have 4 servos, put counters on them, have a large number of 2/2s then.
Yeah, what that means is that one kill spell doesn't get rid of your 5-drop.
Yeah.
It splits it out so they have to do either mass AoE or just on 2 different things.
Yeah, you're really hyper-aggressively developing your board at the early stage, and sometimes it just closes out the game so nicely.
Yeah.
I had the fortunate opportunity to swing for over 100 damages in 3 of my games during the pre-release, one of the tournaments. My deck was white-green tokens where I ran a lot of Fabricate. Instead of making the decision of whether making a server token or get a +1/+1 counter, my deck only pick +1/+1 counter. The reason for that is I have a 1-drop artifact called Animation Module. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is put onto a creature I control, I may pay 1 mana and then I get the other half of Fabricate. So the super Fabricate in one go, lots of value, and I top it off with, I think it's called Armor Scrap Judge or whatever. So when it enters the battlefield, I draw a card. It's weird because I'm playing white-green, I'm drawing more cards than all the blue decks I've seen all weekend so far. It's just like, I draw a card equals to the number of creatures I control with +1/+1 counters, which is my entire board. And this allows me to draw into my win con, which is Engineer Might. For those of you who are not familiar yet, this is a 5 mana overrun. Basically, you can choose target creature gets +5/+5 trample on the end of the turn, which is good enough. And also, or all creatures you control gets +2/+2 vigilance. So there are games where I just have roughly 20 creatures on the board. They're all powered up, all ready to go. I draw 7 cards, draw into this. Just like, you know what? Time to go grab a sandwich. So I just cast this and end the game. And as far as being a fantastic play, the experience for me. So going back real quick to Nolan's color inspection here. So green, obviously, the Gearhawk is really good. And from, I believe Josh can agree with me on this one as well, green overall in the set is a really versatile color in that it combines with most other colors as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in green this set. It's not a specific, you have to play this way.
So yeah, absolutely, I agree. Now, if you were to pick a second, before I get ahead of myself, would green be one of the colors you would consider to play without knowing the colors fully very well?
Well, assuming I get a strong base in green, I'll try to see if I can pull it off with just green alone, because it is versatile and you get some removal and such, but then you also get your large drops. So hopefully, it all depends on what you get for your card draws, though. Or not card draws, but pulls.
I open a playset of 2 mana 2/3s that grows into 3/4s and 4/5s. So it's really, really good, yeah.
Yeah, the I don't remember the name of the creature, but you're talking about the 2-mana 1/2 that puts a counter on something.
Yeah, on any creature. Yeah,
that's a really good card. Every time I've seen that, like whether it's just powering up something you've already got or a 2-mana 2/3.
Honestly, I wish that's my entire deck, so I can be like turn 2, play a 2/3, turn 3, just buff this and then buff this and then buff this. And buff this. You're just gonna get us there. That's really good. Now, what would be the second color you would consider? Assuming green is already in the pool,
okay,
you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. The second color I've seen that I kind of liked a lot was white, because they had just a lot of good uncommons, as the majority of the cards you'll get.
Absolutely.
And so it really balances out the deck. So if you do get those giant green drops, you need some kind of filler in between so you have a tempo while playing. Even if it is just a 3-mana, 3/3 flying or something. Yeah. I don't know what all's in there, but there's good stuff.
Also, Josh, you wanted to say something there?
No, yeah, there's a lot of good tempo cards. I mean, the 3-mana, 2/3 Vigilance Flying Lifelink.
So the white Nighthawk.
For 3-mana? Yeah, the white Nighthawk.
The super volume.
The super good. Like, I only saw a couple people with it, but it's always good. Like, just good. The 3 toughness is nice because, a lot of the flyers in the set have 2 toughness.
Absolutely.
It seems like. So.
Even 1 toughness, right? Because the Thopter tokens that creatures can create, or the fabricate flyers, usually 2/1 or so on and so forth, like that.
So, yeah.
And white also provides things like pressure points. 2 mana, tap down a creature, draw a card. I cannot stress this enough. As soft as this card is, I have had plenty of games where my opponent goes all in, pilot a huge, menace creature or something like that, and then go tap your express pressure point somehow and tap it down and then draw a card and so on and so forth. Tap the Sovereign Flagship and then draw a card.
That card.
We saw a lot of them open this so far.
I don't think I've ever seen another Mythic that was opened as much as that card this weekend.
Maybe they're trying to offset the number of masterpieces we didn't open with Sovereign Flagship.
Maybe that's what
they want you to go home feeling somewhat happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is certainly that. What were the colors you mostly played this weekend? What were the top 2 colors that you played?
Well, I played black in both of my decks.
Okay, so black is
black. But yeah, that was the common factor between the two.
What was the close second?
Close second of what I played the most?
Yeah.
Well, because I was my first one I was white, blue, black, and my second I was black, green, red, green.
Oh, okay.
So there was black in both of my decks, but each time it was 2 different.
You had you had a perfect opposite splash.
Yeah.
So you get to see the full spectrum.
Exactly. Which again is just showing like black has a lot of good stuff in this set as far as removal goes.
And I agree.
So, if you want to splash for it, that kind of thing. Because, if you're lucky enough to pull some of the multicolored cards, almost all of the multicolored cards in this set are extremely powerful.
Very good.
You've got the white-black guy that drains people when they cast on creatures. Yeah. You've got the red-black removal, destroy target creature, and if you have an artifact, deal 3 to the opponent.
Yeah.
Like the red-green guy that gets you 2 energy, he's a 2-mana 3/2 trample. Gets you 2 energy. When he attacks, pay 1 energy. He gets +1/+1.
That card is really pushed.
All of the multicolored cards in this set are very powerful.
Yeah, I don't know if you just caught that, Nolan, but this creature, 3/2 for 2, which is already decent. And whenever you attack with it, just turn into a 4/3, it just gets the damage through.
And it automatically has trample.
Yeah,
just
automatically.
On the card.
And there are more than enough creatures or whatever permanents in the set that provides energy counters on a very consistent base where you are doing this non-stop. Yeah. Sometimes you follow up a second one with a third one, and your opponent just like, do I even play this game, or can I just go to the bathrooms and come back and just like scoop things like that. Yeah. So yeah, they end game on a very short clock.
Yes.
So, well, real quickly here, since this is indeed a very important Lionheart podcast, we will be doing some exciting Kaladesh drafts next weekend. So, do look forward to that. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions in regards to pre-release, how the environment is, how it felt, you want to ask some in-depth question or some ruling, anything like that, please do like this video, like our content, share with a friend, and ask whatever you have down below. We'll do the best we can to answer your questions as soon as we can as well. And I do hope you guys have a fantastic pre-release event, win lots of good packs, and open some master inventions. But let's go back to the topic at hand real quick. We briefly talked about Josh today. Nolan, how has your day been?
I've been decimated in EDH in pretty much every match I've played. I won only one match, and that was because of a misplay of my opponent.
Yeah, we don't speak of who this guy is. Okay, guys, that guy was me. So Nolan did a fantastic play today. By the way, Nolan, who is your commander?
Daxos the Returned.
Indeed, white-black enchantment focused commander.
Mm-hmm.
A very kind of. I don't know, the flavor of that commander is one of a kind, for sure. Mm-hmm. And he did a fantastic gameplay where he Praetor's Grasp, is that the card?
Yes.
He basically tutored my deck for a card while I was playing Nightcrawler. I didn't know what it was, and he played it. And it was Lydia's Caress?
No, it was Megrim.
Okay, Lydia's Caress was the other one, I think.
Yeah. I don't think you were running it, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, but you definitely picked the right one. Whenever I discard a card, I would lose 2 life. Well, guys, happened so that I was only on 2 life, and I had the Zealous Conscript and the untapping. Oh wait, so it wasn't the infinite. I wasn't gonna win anyways, I think, because I would gain control of it. It would not do anything. Okay, so I didn't have the win, but it was really close. But I wanted to go in for the BM, so I discarded a card to Mind Over Matter to tap down Nolan's only unnecessary blocker at the time. I proceeded to realize my own Megrim effectively have killed me. So as I sat there for a moment, blinking as hard as I could, I realized that, yeah, I'm dead. So that was a very exciting game. Following that up, we have another pretty funny game where I played Rise the Redeemed and had mulligan onto 3 cards. So this is really, really interesting. Just to test this deck out, it was super versatile. We actually had somewhat of a game, right? Nolan was leading the majority of the time. I was always on the back end of that for obvious reasons. But the deck persisted through until the very end when I actually had the win count of, I think, Triumph the Horde. Is the card named the 4-mana Infect card. Yep. And it's one of those moments where you've been up playing Magic and pre-release and Magic and work and pre-release for so long where you just don't think anymore. So I look at the board and I look at the board again. I was like, guys, half of our creatures don't even have haste. We can't do anything. So I passed the turn and then got killed by Nolan. And after the game, the gentleman next to us were like, none of you guys were summoning sickness, right? Like maybe one, but you could easily win. I was like, oh, well, there goes that. So those were some very interesting games. But I did manage to get my pride back against Nolan, from Nolan, by the way, by playing a Maelstrom Wonder versus Proj today, where I was able to remand. Oh man, guys, I wish you guys can see Nolan's face right now. But I was able to remand a Sylvan Scrying on turn 2, the one that was supposed to fetch up the Cradle, and then when he shipped the turn back to me, I followed up with Crypt into a Metamorph. Phyrexian Metamorph. Copying the Crypt into a Crucible of Worlds, into a fetch land, into a open mana for Swan Sound / Stifle, things like that. And then casted Wonder the next turn, and Nolan had a response of trying to doubling his mana via the Flash Enchantment off of the Dark Ritual, but we force-willed it, and then when Wonder did come down, they found Karn Deliberated and exiled the only dual color land in that game.
Oh gosh.
It's probably the most savage game I've played in a long time, but it made me feel good after my crushing defeats twice in a row. So there's
Brutal.
He got defeated twice. Once by his own mistake, and the second time because
I was not.
barely. That was very barely because of both of his mistakes. This was preceded by a solid 5 matches that he just decimated me in every one with 3 different decks.
It was a good time.
That's right.
It was a good time. And then after that, we had the pleasure of Kevin and Josh coming back and joining us. Well, it would be cool if Kevin stayed for a while and play some games, but
He did not.
I think he was too tired.
He was very tired. His thought processes were all over the place.
Yeah.
By the time he got done with his
Which
third pre-release this weekend so far. So
yeah, he played 2 today.
he played. Well, there was the midnight one he was in. He was in the 2-headed giant. And he did
So
the
he
5
didn't
o'clock
play
as
3
well,
today.
so-
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of fried, and I've only played in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. So, very exciting, guys. Well, gentlemen, it is getting fairly early in the morning. So, I want to close this episode out on a very positive note. Once again, thank you, Josh, for coming onto the show. And thank you, Nolan, for coming onto the show. You need to come back to the Lionheart games more often so we can do more exciting podcasts like this, whether it's about Commander or pre-release or draft, things like that. So, do make time. In the meanwhile, guys, keep playing Magic. Enjoy all your pre-release weekend and just go out there and try new things. Don't be too concerned about the mistakes you made, mistakes that I make consistently, but more of, just try to enjoy all the synergies that the set has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that you open lots of good stuff from your prize support. Thank you again for tuning in to the Lionheart Podcast episode 2 with special guests, and we'll see you soon.